What is it that you really want? Do you know? And if you do know, do you really believe that you can have it? My name is Felicia Searcy, your Dream Life Activator. You're in my Facebook group, Ultimate Life Now. And Bo and I, there's Bo. There's Bo. Can you see him? There's Bo. There he is. There's my Bo. Out finishing up our hike. And I've been pondering this question, coming in the end of the year, 2021. Can you believe 2021? It's crazy that this year is done. And now we're moving into 2022. So on the front end of the year, I'm also on the front end of a decade. I'm 61. I'll be 62 in April. So I'm still officially on the front end of my 60s. And I'm looking at, what do I want to create for myself this decade, going into the decade of my 70s? What is it that I really want? And do I know? And more is being revealed. We just moved to Tucson, and I realized that I have a hunger for community. I've always been very involved in my communities. Not so much in California. Lots of reasons why. Not really necessary to get into it here. But in Tucson, I'm really feeling a pull to get involved in the community, to find something to share my contribution, not just my money, but my time and my talent. And I'm developing friendships, and I'm continuing to develop business. And I realized that I want to do what it is that I love to do more and doing the others less, which is I love to teach. I love to do this. I love to work with clients in my groups and the few individual clients that I have. Those are the things that I love. Now, there's a voice in me, and I love to do this. I love to get out and hike. Oh my God, we've got such beauty around here. It's crazy how beautiful this area is. Let me see if you can see the mountains in the background. Those are the Catalina Mountains. So there's a voice in me that says, you want all of that. Melody, so glad to see you. Really asking the question, what is it that you really want? That when you really get quiet and you listen to the spiritual breadcrumbs of your life force energy, can you hear what is it that you really want? And do you believe it? And I've been working, I don't know if that's the right word in this context, but it's the best that I can come up with right now, on creating an even more life-giving rhythm to the pattern of my life. And for so long, my belief was that in order to survive, much less be successful, you had to hustle, and you had to hustle hard. And what's interesting is that one of the things that COVID, quote, took away from me, I don't know if that's the right language or not, is my hustle. I don't have the hustle anymore. I don't have the urgency to push. Now that's a good thing. And there's this voice inside of me that says, yeah, but if you don't have hustle, how are you going to make it? How are you going to survive? Now the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because every single one of you has a pattern that worked well. I mean, my hustle worked well. I have been highly successful at pretty much everything that I've done in different situations of success, but it served. And as I'm on the front end of my 60s, looking at my 60s, 70s, and into my 80s and 90s, so I have a good 40 years left, hustle is not the name of the game anymore. And there's a part of me that wants to be afraid about that. And then there's another part that says, but what if this is an opportunity for Life Force Energy to show you a different way? There you go. There's a break. I hope you stuck with it. That means I'm going to, I love it, Melody, right? Right there is at the pattern. That means I'm going to have to be willing to do things differently. That means you're going to have to be willing to do things differently. For me, it's the willingness to put things on my calendar when it would have been work. It's trusting that I can take my time with things and that there are things happening in the invisible realm that I can't even imagine. Those are the things just right off the top of my head that I've encountered most immediately. Like tomorrow, I'm going up to Phoenix. I'm in Tucson now for an amazing networking group with just a group of women that I love dearly. And then I'm driving to California. I'm going to go hang out in California for a couple days this week, see a VIP client, and hang out with some friends. I would not have done that 3-4 years ago. It would have been, got to keep my nose to the grindstone, hustle, hustle, hustle. And I've noticed this year in the move how I really have allowed myself to relax and be present for the move, be present for being new in Tucson. And my business has actually grown compared to where we were last year. So it's backed up by the action. What action are we being asked to take that matches a new pattern, that we're building a new paradigm, we're building a new belief? And for me, letting go of the hustle, letting go of making it happen, and even deeper, because I've been working on this for a long time, but now to go even deeper, it's like, okay, how does that show up in my daily life? And so just did a hike, listened to a spiritual teacher, going in, doing a couple of hours of work, going to yoga, coming back, doing a couple more hours of work. And then tomorrow, had the networking group, and then head to California to hang out with some friends. That's what it looks like. And it's a surrender. It's a surrender of following the spiritual breadcrumbs and then surrendering to this life force energy that's at work in a mighty, mighty way, in ways that I can't see. And it really comes down to believing that there truly is something bigger at work, where it's not just me. It's not just you, Melody. It's not just you, Joan. So the question for all of us, and I'm going to do a deeper training on this later on this week, but just wanted to, I'm in it. I'm thinking about it, and I like to share it with you guys as I'm in it. Can you give yourself permission to override the fear that if what you want means that you have to give something really precious up and that it's not going to work? Can you give yourself permission to override that fear, really listen deeply, and then work on your believing by asking, if I really believe this, what's the actions I would take today? Share in the comment section their takeaways with this, and what are you going to do different today? What is it that you are going to do different today to match what it is that you really want? And challenge the old patterns that worked well at one point but are no longer working. All right, deeply love and appreciate each one of you. You are amazing. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you at the official training one day this week. I think it's Wednesday. So, mwah.